Ollie heard we were going to have tapenade, so he's in here waiting, as you can see. Alright, we peeled it, we cut it in half, and now you want to cut it into 1-inch slices?
No, we're going to cut it into, what we're doing here is making a culinary cut. We're not getting specific with it because it doesn't really matter, but the idea is you want a very, very fine dice. So this is the easiest way to do it that I learned. You take it down, you make very thin slices in it, in one direction. Like I said, don't cut all the way through the vegetable. You're just going to a certain point.
Almost looks like you're making a design.
Very much so.
Well, that's a dangerous cut there.
It is. You gotta be really careful. You know, take your time. You don't need to go really fast in this.
Not everyone's gonna be 10 minutes with this.
Hold it together. This will be a cool thing that you can show people. They'll be very impressed that you got all the vegetables to be such small little squares or
So this
cubes.
really shows knife technique.
Yeah, this is knife technique. This is borderline brunoise.
So if you can do this at home, you can probably come and work in your restaurant.
Kind of.
At least cut vegetables.
You can at least cut vegetables for me. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're going to turn it onto its side. And we're going to cut down and look. We're left with a bunch of little tiny squares. And that's what we're going to... Oh! Check it out. These are leeks. Leeks are from Plowbreak Farms. They're really awesome. They're like oversized scallions in a sense.
What did you say? Scallions?
Yeah. Green onions.
Okay, I thought you said stallions.
Oh,
and
no,
I was like,
scallions.
whoa, whoa.
So we don't want the ends. Because again, we cut off most vegetable ends. And we can't really eat these leaves up here.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is for this recipe we only need 2. Save the other one over there. Chop off the leaves. Boom. Take a look down there. Should have cleaned off my knife, but it's got some beet stuff on there. But that's fine because we're going to mix it with beets anyways. So then we're going to chop off the other end. Like that. Then we're going to cut those in half. Like so. Then we're going to cut those in half.
Ooh.
Like so. Cut those in half like so. And then we're going to cut those in half like so.
So 8 pieces.
I'll do 8 pieces. So this is the big part that you're going to do. You're going to take it and you're just going to flatten it out and fold it over. And then you're going to hold it like so. And what we're looking for is thin strips. Now that you got your thin strips, see if we fold them over, now they're set up easier for you to make dice so that they kind of look like the beets. So you're going to take it, tucking your thumb like always, looking for little tiny squares. Alright, now we've chopped up the beets and leeks, and we're going to boil the beets, and we're going to caramelize the leeks.
The beets?
And the leeks.
The leeks.
You got a beet, you got a leek.
Okay, so now what are we doing here? The science behind this? We're going to heat this up and...
Yep, so we're going to make a tapenade. Usually tapenades are made out of olives and stuff. It's Greek food, Mediterranean. But we're going to sub those out. And we're going to use fresh vegetables from the CSA.
Okay.
The caramelizing the onions will give your tapenade contrast and a different flavor. And the boiling the beets will mock the soft olive that you would get. And we're going to be chopping up sun-dried tomatoes over here. The anchovies, capers, and then we're going to add a little brown mustard and a little pinch of salt, and it should be good. So let's go over to the stove and check it out. Alright, so now we're going to take our beets, and we had our boiling water that we got going at the beginning of the recipe. You're going to take your beets and put them in there. We're going to boil them for about 3 minutes. What we're looking for is them to be soft, and that's why we cut them so small, is that so they would cook faster. Smaller things cook faster than larger objects.
Okay, but I could cut them into dinosaurs if I wanted.
You can cut them into any shape you really want to.
Okay.
This works best for spreading it on bread and treating it like a dip at a party.
Cool.
Alright, so we're going to dump it in there. So you can see your water is going to turn purple. That's the beet juice bleeding from the beet. It's not a bad thing, it's just water content. And because the beet's red, it turns red. Alright, and then next to it we have our pan that we warmed up. It's on a low heat. We're going to turn that up just to a medium. We're going to add olive oil, and then we're going to start to caramelize. So we're going to pour about a tablespoon of olive oil into the frying pan. Alright. You can see it's becoming hot, moving fast. Olive oil is a fat. When it cools down, it solidifies. Alright?
Okay.
So then while that's going, careful, your pans are going to be hot, so always have a pot holder handy. Boom, pot holder. Hold on to the edge.
Yeah,
Grab
see,
your
Frank
leek.
didn't have it holdy.
Yep. Oh, you hear that? That's the sound you want to hear. Once the leek's cooking.
Now it sounds like we're in a restaurant.
Yeah, now it sounds like we're in a restaurant. Cool. So again, this is all happening in a matter of 10 minutes the most, You're softening the leeks so that you can take away from that intense flavor that they have. It's like an onion or a scallion. It has a bitter bite. Very strong bite. They're going to cook relatively fast, again, because they're small.
You can smell the flavor opening
You
up.
can totally smell the flavor of them. Yep. What does it smell like?
Very green.
Smells like green?
Yeah, it smells like,
Smells like caramelizing onions.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the idea. Leeks have a little bit better flavor than an onion, but it's very much that.
It's not like as consistent as an onion, but similar in smell.
Very similar in smell. Alright guys, our leeks are caramelized. Check it out.
Nice.
As you can see under the light, they're starting to get brown. They sweated.
They sweat?
Yep, all means the liquid has released from them and has cooked off a little bit and changed the complete texture of it. Now we want this to cool down, so by the time we want it to cool down, we're going to put it on a cold plate and into the refrigerator for a few minutes while we're draining the beets.
So is this like a 3 to 5 minute kind of thing, or?
Yeah. You just want to spread it out so that they're over a large surface so that they cool down faster.
What's the thought process? Why heating them up and then cooling them down so quickly?
The thought process behind it is because what we don't want is a hot topping on. That's gross.
Okay. I don't know. So I'm going to go by what you say on this
Yeah,
one.
absolutely. You should. Because it's definitely... It's gross to have like one hot ingredient and the rest of the ingredients are all cold.
Oh, totally.
That wouldn't make sense, right?
So this is kind of keep everything on the same food
Exactly.
plane.
We're putting on the same food plane. So we're going to put that in the fridge for a minute.
Okay. And what's going on over here? The beets.
Alright, the beets are now boiled and soft. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our strainer, we're going to take our beets and go over to the sink. We're going to strain them off and we're going to run them under cold water so that they can reduce the temperature faster.
Okay.
It's called shocking them. See, the water's real red, the beets
Yeah.
must have a candy jewel texture. So now what we're going to do is run them over cold water. Mixing up a little bit. You can grab a spoon and do it. Mixing it up in there.
Just cooling everything down there, huh?
We're rapidly cooling it all down.
But keeping everything still in the strainer.
We're keeping everything still in the strainer, yeah.
Okay. And what do you do? Do you just dump all that beet juice out under it, or you...
No, we're going to discard the beet juice. We don't
Okay.
need it anymore.
So we got everything here. The beets are in a bowl.
We got our capers. We got our sun-dried tomatoes. And we got our tarragon.
Okay.
Oh, the only thing we're missing is some brown mustard.
Brown mustard.
Myself, I like to use Nathan's Coney Island mustard.
Oh, really, huh?
Yeah, I think you can relate with what that is.
You like the junky stuff, huh?
Like, sometimes the junky stuff is the best stuff.
Okay.
It's weird. It's weird to think like that, but like when you're cooking, you cook with beer. You don't cook with good beer. You cook with really shitty beer.
Right.
Yeah, because you don't want good beer for it. All right. First thing we're gonna do: take the tarragon leaves off, just like I showed you in the last video. We're pinching and pulling all the leaves off of the stem. We don't want the stem. Boom, you got your leaves. Next thing you're gonna do: open your capers, and what we're looking for here is 1/4 cup of capers, chopped up very fine, which is half of this. Okay? So what you're going to do is come back over to our trusty strainer, pour them out in it. We got all these capers here. We don't want all of them because that's a lot of capers. So like I said, we're going to take half of them, put them back in the jar.
For another day.
For another day. Another time you make tapenade for your football friends. Alright, we're going to transfer those to the cutting board to chop up. Next we're going to do is open your sun-dried tomatoes. Ooh, careful. Spilled a little oil there. What we're going to do is
Yikes.
pull out the sun-dried tomatoes. Again, you're looking for about a half a cup of these. So about half this jar. Alright, again, save for another day. The lid and save for another day. Last ingredient is anchovies. Max, how do you feel about anchovies?
I mean, am I a Ninja Turtle? You know, I feel like the Ninja Turtles kind of felt about it. You know?
You gotta love them.
Yeah, cowabunga.
Cowabunga on all these anchovies.
Oh my god.
Careful not to like...
Oh, you dripping sauce everywhere.
That's okay. It's a messy anchovy.
Oh my god.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is you want 8 fillets. So we're gonna count them out.
At least they're nice and clean though, at least.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So you get them filleted.
Yep, you get them fillets. It's just easier to do.
Don't do the whole ones.
No, it's just not.
It's not worth it.
It doesn't work good. Now we're gonna finally chop all this stuff up. If we had a food processor, we would just throw it in a food processor and pulse it.
What about a blender?
You could do it in a blender. It'd be a little bit harder. The food processor is what you want.
Okay.
All right, now we're chopping up the anchovies.
Right.
Alright, we're chopping up everything here. We all want it to be like very small dice, like the beets look, but we want that for everything.
Everything gets minced?
Everything gets minced, I guess isn't easier to say. We say fine dice in the restaurant world. Some people say minced.
Yeah, minced is like low quality fish, so I guess that's why people don't want to have that one.
Exactly.
Alright, well, we'll see you on the next step.
Hello, gents. Hello, missus. This is the last part of the tapenade recipe. So now we have our cooled down caramelized leeks, how pretty they are, and our boiled beets to give them a soft texture. They can squish between my fingers, that's what you're looking for.
The squishy.
Squishy. And then we're going to add them to our mixture of capers, anchovies, tarragon, and sun-dried tomatoes. We're going to add a little brown mustard and virgin olive oil, a little salt, and then it's ready to serve.
What do you mean add? Do you mean just like dump everything in there?
No, we'll add certain measurements and ingredients.
Okay.
Here we go.
Alright.
Beets.
Beets. Well, you dumped.
Dumped, yeah. These
Okay.
are all...
Everything here gets used.
Everything here is going to get used.
Okay.
Leeks. Great. A little brown mustard. I'll just say make 2 circles around it like that. That's probably half of a teaspoon, to be exact. Next, we're going to grab our extra virgin olive oil. Put them here. Half cup measurer. There.
Yeah.
Sorry, 1/3 cup. We're going to add 1/3 of a cup of olive oil to it.
1/3 of a cup?
Yep, this is like... This is important because it marinates the flavors, it marries them. The olive oil traps those flavors, you know, and it also adds a really good balance.
So it's essential.
It's very essential. We take our salt. We got a little salt right here. Take a little pinch of salt. Throw it in there. Then we're going to grab our spatula and we're going to combine all the flavors together. As you can see, it's all coming together. It's a very pretty color.
Beautiful.
The textures and the flavors are going to be outstanding.
You can already smell them popping as you mix everything
Yeah,
up.
exactly. It's very Mediterranean flavors.
So what would I pair this or?
You know the baguette or ciabatta or some sort of
Could I
harder outside bread with a softer inside?
tacos?
I wouldn't go tacos with it. It just doesn't fit.
Okay, so it wouldn't be a good topping on my taco then. Huh?
No, you could use chips though. For gluten-free people, you could use corn tortilla chips.
Okay.
That would help. It's not going to be hard on your stomach.
What other things for, we've been meeting a lot of people recently with gluten issues. What kind of other pairings would work well with this besides just chips?
There's some really good gluten-free breads out there. You can get them at your local grocery store in the gluten-free aisle. Udi's is one of them. I really like them.
Okay, so there's a whole variety that
There's
they should look.
a total variety of it.
Okay, great. And this is ready to serve.
Yeah, this is ready to serve. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put it.
How do we plate this?
What we're gonna do? We're gonna grab a ramekin.
Okay, I know about these well.
I'm gonna fill up, say, ramekin.
Okay.
I'm gonna sort of use our spatula to press it down.
Okay.
This beet tapenade also looks very much like a beet tartare, which is fun. Tartare has an egg yolk on it. That's the only difference.
This is the only difference between these two? So
Fill it up a little bit more.
if I wanted to, we could put an egg on it and I could, mix it up.
We could separate an egg yolk and put it on it, and then call it beet tartare and serve it with toast points, and that's like a 5-star restaurant dish.
Okay, so I'm feeding my bros really 5-star food.
You're really feeding your bros 5-star food. They
Okay.
should be thanking you for sure.
mean, wow, totally. Who would have known? Who would have thunk?
All right, and then we're going to take a plate. We're going to flip it out in the middle of the plate. Just like that. Make sure not to slam it down as you crack the plate in half. Right there. Just like so.
And that's that?
And we're going to grab herbs right here. Herbs are always great for garnishing. This is cilantro. Cilantro's not going to be in there, but it'll look nice on top of it.
Just to make it look pretty, huh?
Just to make it look pretty.
Oh, that's the professional touch.
And there's the professional touch.
Alright, now let's go eat it.